All right, welcome into today's video. I placed a large order with Sephora and I picked up a full face of the Sephora Collection. They were running a sale, so I wanted to, test out the Sephora Collection, see if it was any good. Also, the Best Skin Ever concealer, full coverage concealer just came out. I did try that for the first time yesterday and I do like it, but we will use it today in the full face. So when they were running the sale, I thought it would just be fun. I have tried a couple of products from the Sephora Collection before. I've tried their lip liners. I have tried some of their like single eyeshadows. I have just the colorful shimmer formula, and then I have two of the Metal Effects formulas. So I thought we would try those today also. I did pick up another lip liner, so I don't know if we'll try these ones today, but I thought we would just, play around with the makeup, see if it's any good. I know that the Best Skin Ever foundation from Sephora has been pretty popular and I've never tried it, so I thought it would be nice to try that and pair it with the concealer. So we'll just jump right in. So to start off, I do have a hydrating primer. So this is the Sephora Beauty Amplifier Hydrating Primer. I thought this would be good for my skin type. This is a blue primer. You can see. So it's kind of like a lotion. It's a little bit more lightweight feeling than that. But we'll just put this all over. I smell something. It definitely has a scent to it. I'm not exactly sure what the scent is. It smells like herbally, like a watery scent. I don't really know how to describe it. Definitely smells some sort of herbs in here. So I'm not sure what the ingredients are. It just says, instantly hydrate skin with this primer containing prickly pear flower extract and enriched with hyaluronic acid. It's dermatologically tested and let's see, yeah, non-comedogenic. So I think that's what I'm smelling here is the prickly pear flower extract. So it's definitely herbally. It has a very herbal scent, but it's not lingering or anything. So it is quite nice. It feels hydrating. It's not a very thick formula, so I feel like it's sunk in pretty well already. So I'm just gonna go in with the foundation now. So this is the Best Skin Ever foundation. This has been pretty popular. I wanted to get my hands on it, but I didn't try it because I have so many other in my collection. This is in the shade 17.5N. I hope this is good. Like the concealer, it was pretty hard to pick a color that I thought would work well for me because online they have so many different shades in both the concealer and the foundation that it was tricky trying to match it, even though I think this said that it was for light with neutral undertones, which usually works. In this bottle, it definitely looks dark. And the concealer that's in the shade 15.5N that I tried yesterday was a little bit dark for me, especially for a concealer when you're trying to go for a lighter shade, but we're just gonna go with it. So we'll see what the consistency is. Here is it on the back of my hand. It's thick, it's not like moving or anything. It's a pretty thick formula. So I'm gonna start with just this amount and then I'm gonna do like this side of my face. This is the left side of my face. I mentioned in my video yesterday, I'm just getting a ton of like cystic acne right now. I was trying like different facial cleansers and I think that's really attributing to this. A lot of times things with like hyaluronic acid in it actually make me break out. I don't know why that is, but some cleansers that have that, so I have to be careful. So I'm just gonna dot this everywhere. This is like a little less than 1 pump. So I'm just gonna bounce it everywhere and see what the finish is like. So that is one side done, this left side here, and then not this side. I think it did a pretty good job. These lights make it a little bit difficult to see anything kind of other than the radiant finish, but it has medium, light to medium coverage. It is radiant, like it definitely has some luminosity to it. It's quite nice. It's not overly heavy. I could see why this is a popular foundation. I'm gonna go in with like another half a pump and just see if I can build it up a little bit more. So that is it with 1.5 pumps on this side. and then nothing on this side. I actually really like this. I tried a new, well, it was a beauty balm, but I tried a new foundation yesterday, the new Dr. Jart one, and honestly, it was fantastic. This performs very similarly. Like, it's a very nice finish. It's radiant. It sits well. It doesn't feel too heavy. Generally with new foundations, I have to find how they work best. They don't always work for me like right on the first try, but this one and the one I tried yesterday seem to be doing a really good job. I'm very pleased with this amount of coverage. I'm very pleased with the finish. It looks very natural. So just reading the back, it says medium buildable coverage for the look of naturally perfected skin. Enriched with algae extracts and hyaluronic acid, provides anti-pollution benefits and 12-hour hydration, clinically proven to reduce signs of stress and fatigue. So I really do like it. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a pump and a half on this side, and then we'll come back and look at it all together. So that is it on both sides. I actually really like it. I don't dislike it. It doesn't seem to be like caking around the center of my face, which I always worry about with foundation, skin tints. It doesn't matter. It's actually looking really good. It feels lightweight and like really hydrating. Like, it has a lot of hydrating properties to it because it's not even sinking into like my smile lines yet, which with a lot of foundations, I don't know, even by the time I get done with the other side, I'll get a little bit of sinking into my fine lines, and I'm not getting that. I actually really like this. I think this could work for a lot of different skin types. It definitely feels like it's made more maybe for like drier skin because it feels so luminous and radiant. But I do really like this. So I don't know, I'm already a fan. I'll have to see how long it wears. We'll have to see if it settles into my fine lines, all that good stuff. So let's just move on to the concealer. This here is supposed to be, again, the 12-hour hydration. It's supposed to be full coverage concealer. Like I said, I have mine in the shade 15.5N. It is that large doe foot applicator. I have tried this already. It's a pretty like luminous formula. See, the shade isn't perfect, but it will work. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I think this is like a full coverage concealer. I mean, I think you can build it up, but I don't know if I would call this entirely full coverage. I would say this is more medium buildable coverage, but it has a luminosity to it. It has a radiance to it that makes it a little bit more medium coverage in my opinion, but it is nice. Like, if you can see, it does a really good job, but I wouldn't say that it's entirely full coverage. And it is not a heavy formula. It's very lightweight. It's very radiant. It's very nice. With full coverage concealers, there's a lot of claims these days that I'm seeing that, oh, it's super hydrating. I don't know. I think it's really difficult to find like a full coverage concealer that isn't drying or creasing. I'm really liking it. So I'm just going to put it on this side. I am going to kind of put it around my nose too, and like some of my problem areas. Honestly, I'm finding that a little bit goes a long way with this concealer. You don't have to put too much down. So that is it applied to both sides. I think it looks nice. I did try it yesterday. I had no issues with it wearing. It seemed to wear fine. The balm and I think the concealer yesterday, they did sit a little bit heavier on my face, like at the end of the day, but they didn't seem to separate the way that that other foundations sometimes do. So it wore nicely. I definitely want to set this down with powder. So we'll go into this next. So I picked this up because I thought it looked really good. They had a different setting powder, but I took that out of my cart and then put this one in because it's a Microsmooth multitasking baked face powder. It just looked like it would work perfectly for my dry skin, not be too heavy. And it seemed to have pretty good ratings. I think it was like 4.5 stars. So I don't know if I got this. Yeah, I did get this in a shade. It was 15 Nude. I'm gonna go in with my beauty puff here because I started using these and I'm actually finding that I like it a lot better than even like a damp sponge or a brush. I just feel like it gives a more airbrushed look and it presses the powder in a little bit more. And I think that helps it from, like, prevents it from looking too cakey when you have it on. So I have been really liking this. I just got these on Amazon. I don't know, there's some off-brand name puffs. And I am using like all powder products. They didn't have any like cream highlighters, contours, or blushes. So I just picked up their powder products. So I'm just gonna set the whole face. So I'm fully powdered. I do like this. I don't think it looks too heavy at all. The Microsmooth is probably designed for people that have more dry skin. This was very smooth. It is a baked formula, so that's nice. I really like it. I did notice that the concealer was creasing a little bit. I did bring it up like on my eyes just with my sponge, and I kind of noticed that it was creasing on my eyelids just a little bit, so wanted to mention that. But I want to go in with the Sephora makeup setting spray. It says it's a 16-hour wear, transfer proof, sweat and humidity resistant with ginseng extract. So I wanted to do this now that we've powdered. Let's just look at the sprayer. Oh, it's very fine. Good job, Sephora. Good job. Yeah, you can smell the ginseng in it. Oh, it felt so good. The sprayer was very nice. I kind of layered a lot on, but I've been liking that lately. Just drenching my face in like setting spray after I powder. It just feels good. Okay, so next I thought we would go into brows. I picked up this one. This is the Sephora retractable pencil. It's just one of those like micro brows. This claims to be waterproof. So this is in the shade Taupe. It's hard to know with the shades because companies come out with so many different variations that I'm afraid to try like darker ones because sometimes they're too dark and then I look kind of funny. So I'm just gonna try this Taupe shade and see how it works. Okay, nice brow product. Brows are on. I definitely got a shade too light. Taupe, I just feel like I was working, building to get it to the depth that I really like. I could have gone like a shade darker, but it worked. It's very similar performance to my Benefit Precisely My Brow that I absolutely love. So it feels like a similar formula. It is pretty waxy. That was actually really nice. Like, I think this could be like a dupe for the Benefit Precisely My Brow. Like it performed really well. And I think it's pretty inexpensive. I'm gonna list all the prices in the description box, but I believe this was, I don't know, $7 maybe? Okay, so I thought we would do like bronzer slash contour, blush, highlighter, and then go into eyeshadow. So the bronzer slash contour that I picked up was the Colorful Contour. That could work as like, you know, contour slash bronzer. It's very like neutral toned. So we'll go in with this and see how it works. I am just gonna swatch it first to see kind of what it looks like. Okay, it's not overly pigmented. It is a very nice like neutrally shade. Yeah, see, it's not overly pigmented. It's nice. And we'll see how blendable it is. Oh, it's quite blendable. Oh, it's not bad. It's a really good contour shade, like for fair skin. It always looks so striking in the viewfinder, but looks a little bit better in person in the mirror when I'm looking here. So I don't know how blended that looks on your side, but it looks really blended on my side. I like it. I think it looks good. So I'm gonna do the other side. So I think it provided a good amount of depth. Like I said, it looks pretty striking in the viewfinder, but when I'm looking here, it looks fine. So I am gonna do like my forehead like I would normally do my bronzer, and hopefully I don't make it look too muddy. Oh well, we'll see. Okay, so that is all I'm gonna apply on my forehead. I am gonna do like my jawline just because it is a contour and I wish I didn't have two chins. Like this thing is starting to, I don't know, droop like everything else at my age. Okay, Looks good. So let's go into the blush. This is a matte blush. This is in the shade Love Child. It's like an orangey blush. I just gravitate towards orangey blushes quite a bit. So I'm gonna go in with my IT Cosmetics number 227, the Flawless Blush Brush, and put this on the apples of my cheeks. I have seen like some people on YouTube that have tried these that really like them and say that they're really good quality for the price point. I mean, I have a lot of blushes in my collection, so it's hard to love a matte blush or that a matte blush kind of stands out in the crowd because there's so many good ones on the market. This is not overly pigmented. It's a buildable formula and it's super easy to blend. It feels very creamy. It's nice, like I like it. I really do, and I think it's a good shade, and it wasn't too strong, even though I keep applying it because I love blush. So that's a really nice shade. I like it for my skin tone. I'm always grabbing for orange blushes. So I can see why they would suggest this as like a dupe for more high-end blushes. It's pretty nice. Okay, so moving on to highlighter. I placed the order for the Sephora Golden Hour Duo. This here is in Daybreak, and the way they describe like the separation of the pans here is that one is low beam and the other one is high beam. So it's supposed to be the same shade, but one is supposed to be like it has more like glitters in it than the other one does. I don't know if you can see that, but we're just gonna try one on each side of the face. So I'm gonna go in with high beam and we'll see how that looks. Woo, yeah. Yeah, that's like glitter. Glitter on the face. Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks wet. Like I'm sweating. Sweat, yeah, sweat. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that when I'm facing the camera, but you probably can see it when I'm turned sideways. It's very high beam. It definitely looks like my skin is wet. Like I really like this. I'm not gonna lie. Sephora does a pretty good job on their products. I hate to say this, Ulta, if you're listening, I'm really sorry, but Sephora does better brand collection items than you do. All right, so now I'm gonna go on this side with the low beam and see what it looks like. It's interesting that they made a duo that has low beam and high beam. So just depending upon what you're like looking for that day, you have a product that's pretty inexpensive that does both without selling like a huge pan of one or the other. I like that idea because honestly, they're both really beautiful. Like, look at that. It's really nice. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very natural. This looks like I sprayed water on me. Like, this is really nice, but this is very natural. Wow. This is a good highlighter. Hello, Sephora. Yeah. But that one, yeah, the high beam, I mean, you gotta be in the mood for the high beam one for sure. It definitely looks like some glitter is on my face. But I like both of them. They're tremendous. Both of them. Great, great, great. I actually really like the highlighter more so than like even the blush or the contour. Okay, so let's move on to eyeshadow. I'm not sure what to expect in the eyeshadow department here because Sephora Collection, I don't think they hit it out of the park with their eyeshadows. I have had two palettes from the Sephora Collection before and I really didn't like them. They're just a weird kind of like cream formula and I didn't care for them. I think I ended up decluttering both, like one right away and then one later on. But I think I got something that's relatively similar. It's the Clean Bouncy eyeshadow palette. It's called the S Clean. So here's the color story. It's very neutral. So I thought that would be okay just to do kind of a neutral eye look. But I did want to use their Metal Effects today because those are really like pretty strong and vibrant. And so I thought those would pair well with these eyeshadows here. So it comes in this like cardboard carton and it has this very similar to what Aether Beauty does on their eyeshadows. So here is the color story. I'm gonna swatch all of these and see how they look and see what kind of eye look I want to do. Yeah, they're all a satin formula. So that is it swatched. It's a very neutral palette with oranges. I did a very similar look like yesterday with like a pop of blue, but that is it right there. Okay, all right, let's just go for it. It's probably going to be a pretty easy eye look with that shimmer kind of being like the standout. So I'm going to go into this shade right here and just put it all over the top part of my lid. I'm going to use a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush and see if I can get this to pick up. This was kind of the issue with the shadows that I had before with Sephora, is that they didn't pick up a whole lot, and the darker shades ended up looking super muddy. They didn't look good. They just weren't the best of quality. It is one thing Sephora, in my opinion, doesn't do extremely well. So that is why I picked this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, because it's super, like, it's large, but it's very dense. And when it's harder to pick up shadows, sometimes these dense brushes like work better, especially for like what I like to do, which is just cast the whole shade on the top part of my lid, simply because I don't have a whole lot of lid space. So this up here, that's like the focal point for the most part. So this is going to be a pretty simple eye look, because I'm not going to get anything too crazy out of this palette. I just won't. So I'm going to deepen out that outer corner with this orange shade and see if that looks good. Who the heck knows? This is the Lunar Beauty LBE2. I bought a set of these brushes, but I think Manny did a really good job with his brush collection, just building up this outer corner. It's so hard to pick up these shades. I almost feel like Sephora wanted you to work with your fingers with these. I'm not doing it, Sephora. I'm not doing it. It's pretty. It's a pretty basic eye look. So like I said, really basic. It is what it is, but I think it will really pop once I put the shimmer on. And I'm going to go into the metal effect. This is the one in First Light. It's like a gold shimmer, but I just thought it would be really pretty. The other one that I have is in Oh Baby, but it's more pink, so it's not going to work for this. The only problem with this is that it came broken, and I repressed it, so I always have to be careful with it, but it also makes it pretty difficult to apply without like creating a lot of fallout, because I had to repress it in the pan and it's still very chunky. So I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so that is the eye look. I did create a pretty good amount of fallout, but most of it was on my shirt, so we're doing okay. Okay, so if I can't have a really dramatic eye shadow look, I'm gonna try and zhuzh it up with a little bit of eyeliner. So in my order, I placed it for 2 different eyeliners. This was the retractable eyeliner that is waterproof, so I'm going to use this in the lower lash line, and then I have a liquid one that I'm going to use on the upper lid. So let's just see how this swatches. Holy smokes, that's massively pigmented. So it gives a really good payoff like on one swatch, and it's not too sticky. It is meant, I think, to smudge, because it does have, it does have this like smudger on the bottom here, but I'm gonna try not to smudge it, and hopefully it kind of stays in place pretty well. Okay, so I'm not sure if that was recording anything that I had just done, but I did lie and I did use the smudge brush at the end of it. I like the pencil. I mean, it's okay. I like that it has a sharpener on the end with the smudge brush. I think that once you lay it down, I mean, it stays in place pretty well. I don't find that it's like moving too much once I've put it down. So I can see that it's a nice waterproof formula. I don't love pencils in my waterline that often, so I probably wouldn't have purchased this had it not been that I was doing a full face, but it performs okay. I do want to try their liquid eyeliner next. This is just the colorful Wink It felt liner. It is also waterproof, so it is a felt tip. I haven't swatched it yet. Oh, it's pretty fine and it's very pigmented. So I'm going to do this on the upper lid. Wow, I absolutely hate eyeliner. With my hooded eyes, it just, like, where did the lid go? I don't know, the lid is gone. It is not even. I'm terrible at applying it, but I do like this liquid eyeliner. I think it has a really good felt tip. It's actually really easy to work with. Like, it wasn't so wet a formula that when I was putting it down, it was moving all over the place. It created a pretty precise line and it was forgiving. Like, it was just easy to use. This, I mean, it has a time and a place, but I never use products like that, or very rarely. Maybe sometimes when I'm using eyeliner to just kind of do the waterline in the upper the upper waterline, but I liked the felt tip on this. I liked this formula. I actually didn't mind it at all. I just don't like applying it. I'm not good at it. Hopefully I've done kind of an even job. I'm not going anywhere, so nobody has to see me. So it is all good. Okay, so eyes are done. I mean, eyeshadow is done. Let's move on to the mascara. So I got a different mascara than I originally thought I was gonna get. So I got the Big by Definition, which is like a volume, what does it say? Volume effect, volumizing and lash multiplying effect. So it's not a lengthening formula like I usually like, but I wanted to give this a shot because it was something I wouldn't normally pick up. So this is the wand. It looks like it's a pretty clean formula. We will just go in and see how it performs. I'm not gonna do any lashes today. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere, so we'll see how this does just by itself. So there is the mascara. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good formula. I liked the effect that it gave, and I loved the wand for the lower lashes. So that was really nice. Let's move on to lip products. I know that I mentioned that I have 2 of their lip liners. These are the Rouge Gel lip liners. So these are very creamy, and they're not the longest wearing lip liners out there. They're very nice and pigmented, but they don't stay or last very long. So I wanted to get a different one because I've tried those before. So I picked up one that is just, man, it is like the bottom of the barrel kind of lip liner. It's the Lip Liner To Go. It's very tall, small. It's almost like a mini. It's wood, so it's the kind that you sharpen, and these other ones are retractable. So I thought I would just give this a shot. I don't know if it's gonna go with the lip color that I have picked out today, but I do have 2 more lip products. So I picked up one of their cream lip stains, and then I wanted to try one of their glosses. So it says glossed on it, huge. This is their lip gloss in Yes Honey. So I thought that would be nice. I don't know what the finish is gonna be like on this lip stain, so we'll see if it dries down, and then maybe I'll put the gloss on top of it. We shall see. So I'm just gonna use this and see how creamy it is. It's kind of one of those, oh, wow. For being a pencil, it's very creamy. It's a nice color. It is pigmented. That was very creamy. I liked the way that that felt going on. It was nice. So I'm gonna go in with the cream lip stain. This was in the shade 70. It was written on the packaging that came around it, but then I tore it off and it's nowhere else on this packaging, just says 70. And the packaging, I have to say, the packaging on these Sephora products, it took more time to take off the packaging than put on the makeup. All right, so I'm just gonna apply this. See what the finish is like. Vanilla, immediately. Has a vanilla scent. And it actually matches with the lip liner really nicely. I thought this would be too mauve, and then the lip pencil would be more pink. But it looks good. So they called this a lip stain. So I'm assuming this is like more of a matte formula. We'll see. We'll give it a second and see how it like dries down. So that feels super comfortable. I'm really picky when it comes to a matte formula, but this, my goodness, it feels so comfy. It dried down pretty quickly. And when they say cream lip stain, like it's creamy, it's bouncy. I like this. I could see myself really liking this and picking this up a lot. I'm really picky when it comes to a matte formula, especially in a liquid lip. But this is really comfortable. It's extremely comfortable. It feels a lot like the KVD Everlasting lipsticks that I like so much. So I'm interested to see if this is like a sticky formula. I have tried Sephora lip products before. I have their like Lip Stories, their matte bullet lips. This is really nice. see it? See it? Do you see it? I have like teeny tiny lips, so gloss always helps make my lips look a little better. They're not only thin, they're small, like, sure. Sure. That's pretty. It's not too sticky. Glosses are hard. Right away, they're either sticky or not sticky. They're either comfortable or not comfortable. This is really comfortable. So we'll see how long this lasts. You know, if I drink anything, if it transfers, that sort of thing. But it's comfortable, it's pretty, and it's not too sticky. Those are the only things I can tell right now. So that was everything. Let's just do like a quick wrap up of all of the products. I'll go over them. So to start off with the Sephora Hydrate Primer, I liked the way this felt. It definitely had a herbal like scent to it, but I think it performed well and it didn't mess with the foundation at all. I would assume that a Sephora product with a Sephora, like two base products working together, would pair quite nicely, and they did. So I thought this was a good one. So I'm gonna continue to keep using this one, but I like it, like right away I can tell that I like it. So next, the Best Skin Ever. Great, like so nice, good amount of coverage, buildable, isn't caking around my nose. It is sinking into my fine lines, but they all do. There's not one on the market that doesn't. It's not doing it that badly. I like this foundation and I can see why it's popular, and I can see myself continuing to reach for this. So next, the Sephora Best Skin Ever. This is my second time trying this. I like it. I did notice that it is creasing a little bit under the eyes, even after I set it down. And I would say it provides a good amount of coverage, but it does cover up a lot of my problem areas pretty well. So I like that concealer. I think it's a good one. I can see myself reaching for it again, for sure. Now the setting powder, I really liked this. Like this, I just thought it was exactly what it said, Microsmooth, and it wasn't too heavy on me. I have so many problems with powders because even the ones that I love that are more finely milled sometimes look too dry on me. And this looked really good. I like this a lot. So the Colorful Contour, this was a good one, but it's a really, really good powdered neutral tone. And I don't have a lot of powdered neutral shades for like contour. I have some contours that are cream that are in like neutral shades, but nothing that's powder. So I really like this. This is an affordable option. This one is really good. Like I think it looks pretty good. Like it looks sculpted, right? The blush was also really nice. It didn't stand out extremely well to me. I mean, it went on well, it was buildable, it seemed like a good formula. For an affordable option, it's really nice, not overly pigmented. I think this could be one that you could just grab for and that you know that it's gonna perform pretty well. I'm a fan of this. This is a good product. I definitely think the High Shine or the High Beam was a little bit glittery, but it's nice if you're looking for that. And then this one just sunk into the skin. Like it looks so beautiful and natural and gorgeous and radiant. So I'm a huge fan of this, huge fan of this, wow. The makeup setting spray, since I did do that after like I powdered, I thought it was really good. I mean, we'll see if it's really 16-hour wear transfer proof, sweat and humidity resistant, but it felt very nice. The spray was very nice. Even my very, very favorite, this is a fixing mist. It's from Pixi and I use it after I powder and like it a lot. It has a crappy sprayer. Like the sprayer just drenches you. So I thought this sprayer was really good. It felt really hydrating. Like I just kept putting it on over and over. So that one I think was a good one too. The eyeshadows. I'm not a fan of Sephora eyeshadows. I can't really say that these are great, and I don't think it's something that they do very well. So the retractable eyeliner, it was okay. I think if you're really good at using eyeliners, I think that I like this product because it has the sharpener and the smudger at the bottom. And I think that when I set it down, or when I applied it, it didn't move around a lot, which is what I think you're looking for. I just don't really use that kind of product very often. What I did really like about this was that I was able to get to my upper waterline to kind of fill in the areas that I didn't with the liner, the liquid liner, and it did a really good job. And for that reason, I really liked it, and it's not irritating my eyes, which I have a lot of issues with, like eyeliners and things that get way too close to my eyes. I get irritation pretty quickly, so it hasn't done it. Like it would have usually done it by now if it was going to irritate me. And the Colorful Wink It felt liner, I thought this was really nice as a liner. not too wet a formula, pretty forgiving, precise tip. It just did really well, so we'll see how it wears. The mascara, I'm a fan of this. It was a really clean application. This wand was so easy to apply to the lower lashes. They just went on great. Nothing has transferred. It doesn't look like it's flaking. It gave a good amount of volume. It gave a good amount of pigment and length. I just thought this was a really good mascara. I'm a fan of this. I really like this. Then the lip liner, I mean, for just this little tiny thing here, it was super creamy and it was really pigmented. It was actually very nice. I told you I had the other ones, but these just wear off like so quickly, where I think this one will last a little bit longer. I was a huge fan of that, even though it's this teeny tiny thing. And then the lip cream, the stain, I really liked it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it has to be topped with a gloss because it's a more dry formula, and so it was accentuating my lip lines. It was a really comfortable formula, very bouncy, very nice. The lip gloss feels comfortable. It's kind of feeling a little sticky, and like maybe it's balling up a little bit in, like, you know, this part of my mouth. So I wouldn't say pick up the gloss. I mean, there are so many other drugstore ones that are just better than this. I wouldn't even bother with this. It was pretty. It's just kind of your average everyday gloss, and it's kind of like feeling a little chunky in the middle of my mouth. So I would say pass on the gloss. And just a shout out to the products that I already have, but these metal effect ones from Sephora, they're so good, and I think they're like $3. They're both gorgeous. I just love these. The ones that I don't like are just the regular shimmer formula from Sephora. These just didn't have any payoff, so I'm gonna declutter these. So I'd say stay away from those. But honestly, the top products that I feel like you could pick up that would add to your collection would truly be the Best Skin Ever if you don't already have it. The concealer is a good one. I think this is great for dry skin. I really liked this contour. The blush, I don't know. You know, it just depends on how many blushes you have in your collection. This maybe isn't your maid of honor in your wedding, but it's one of your bridesmaids for sure. And then this highlighter, I thought it was great. It really is. It was a really good color on me in Daybreak, and I liked having the duo with the low beam and high beam. Get your hands on these metal effects. Great. I think this mascara, fantastic. Like, I think it's totally worth your money. I really enjoyed today. I hope you consider subscribing, and I'll see you again. Bye.